here we go. We're going to start with Marvel, the MCU, and Marvel's What If Season 2 out now.
Yeah.
All the episodes are out. You can stream them from start to finish, all 9 episodes.
Are they dropping like every day one? Is that how it works?
I think they did, because I think the Christmas one happened on Christmas Day, but maybe Christmas Eve. I feel like they didn't release that thing like Echo. Echo's all out at once now,
Which is rare for them. They don't usually.
Yeah, usually
do that.
they ride the every week thing, but I can't help but wonder if because of the audience isn't as big because it's a TV MA show. So I mean, while all the other ones were kind of like more accessible for people of all ages, every week, you get a bunch of people in. But
That's
if
true.
it's TV MA, we can drop all this at once because it's not built for the entire Disney Plus audience.
I wonder if they're just trying to figure out what's going to be target for them. They might be. It might be better to run the TV MA all at once. The binge, yeah. There you go. So, but yeah, this dropped, and hey, honestly, we love the first one. Now we're so thick in the multiverse, like these kind of fun stories. While they are technically canon, they're not anything that's going to be, for the most part, I think a focal point. I think this is where the Marvel Zombies is getting its seed from, basically. But and who knows? I mean, we saw Captain Carter live action version of her.
We did
in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, which is pretty dope. So we're getting some of that stuff live action as well too. But they really did a different route with this, where they kind of, instead of each episode was like
standalone.
Yeah, but even in the last one, keep in mind at the end, it seemed like there was a convergence, and they created like an Avengers team. This one seemed to be more character focused, singularly, and it's certainly a little bit of that Captain Carter there in the middle there, which, all intents and purposes, I mean, Haley Atwell is a great character. I think she even voiced, right?
Yeah, it was her.
She's fantastic, anyways, and a great piece of early MCU. So I enjoyed this so far as well too. There are some episodes that might not be as great as other ones. I suppose. I feel compared to the first season, there was a few more of that. Maybe just like, it was all right, it was good.
It gives you like a cool perspective on something, an idea, and some ideas just aren't quite as up to snuff as other episodes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all about risk taking. It's all about that creativity and seeing what else you could imagine. And not every story is going to be a winner.
And honestly, something that Seven Dungeons actually said after he was watching it, he's like, these are written so well. He's like, it's weird that these are written sometimes almost better than some of the movies recently. And I'm like, it's kind of a fair point, because like I feel like even a decent episode, or maybe not as great, and this is still better than Love and Thunder to me. So like, it's a good point. And there was an episode in this series, I liked a lot of them. There was a couple that stood out. I know the one that you enjoyed as well too with Nebula, but the one where Stark gets pulled after the Battle of New York, or during the battle,
he doesn't make
and
it
he ends
out.
up as Sakaar instead of Hulk, was awesome, because it just fit the aesthetic. The drag racing thing was really cool. I really, really loved that one, because you got to see. I mean, you got what's his face back as
Jeff Goldblum.
Thank you. Jeff Goldblum reprises his role and does a voice. And then of course you get to see. I don't think Taika did the voice necessarily of Korg.
I think it was him, because his name showed up several times.
It? Okay, because it sounded pretty spot on.
In the first episode with Nebula story, he's in there too. Okay. And his name showed up in the credits.
Okay, cool. So then that's awesome. I was wondering, I'm like, it's close, but it's not a voice. I feel like that wouldn't be too hard to mimic
that was
either,
him for sure.
Yes, fantastic episode. So, and at the end, honestly, like the culmination of everything coming together. I don't know if that's a word at all, but the way it did, was pretty awesome as well too. I really enjoyed that, and the character Kahori, I was really digging that too. So
I love how they do like the thing that about What If, the premise itself is like they take these key moments from a lot of the Marvel movies from the first several phases. And there's like specific points where they'll alter something where you kind of get a different outcome. And like, and the one you talked about was Stark, how he doesn't make it through the portal after the Battle of New York. And I just love, I do love that, because they not only do they have all these characters that I've really I grew attached to through all those phases, not even just the main ones, but like some of the second level characters, and they get a lot of these people to come back for I mean, honestly, other than obviously Robert Downey Jr., I think that was Chris Hemsworth, who was...
It was definitely
that
Chris
was Hemsworth for
yeah.
sure. But like, I think the only ones you typically don't get, I know Mark Ruffalo was in his episode where Banner was there.
I think
Christmas
Chris Evans
one.
is usually around.
I don't know. He might have been in the Christmas one, but I feel like he was kind of hit or miss, but it might have been him. But I mean, but all the small characters and side level characters, they're all like...
And Sam Jackson was definitely him.
I mean, it's awesome how they do that, because it kind of keeps you engaged. Like, oh yeah, I remember this character. It keeps it 1-to-1. What if Marvel didn't waste all these characters with current MCU? What episode is? It was
Yeah.
it was just it's just a really
What
well
if?
done show. It's a cool premise. I'm with Dungeons. I really like that first episode with Nebula, where she joined Nova Corps. And there's just this whole story with Nova Prime.
It's very noir.
Yeah,
like
dude,
detective-y.
it had some cyberpunk vibes, some
Yeah,
noir
yeah,
to
that
it.
was definitely a top one.
I was a huge when I watched
Yeah.
the episode, I was like, God, this is so good. So I really like that one. And then Happy Hogan Save Christmas was very obviously on the nose with its Die Hard references and just the overall premise and stuff. I do love Hammer as basically Hans Gruber. He because I mean he's the same type of character, very confident, very swagger.
It worked well. And honestly, the what was the episode where the Hella one? There were elements of that I really liked. I don't know if I overly really was into the Hella one. I thought it was a really cool idea.
Yep.
But I just love Odin, so I like that
Yes.
Odin was still kind of involved in that as one too. And listen, I think part of the reason that at least somebody like me personally, as somebody who grew up reading a lot of comics, I love to draw. I used to draw. Would take Batmans and Spider-Mans and create my versions of them as well too. So this show is for like daydreamers like that.
It really
is. It's like the what if taps into this almost like this kid nostalgia feel for me. Like, man, like I could have been drawing something similar like that as a kid, or had this cool idea or this unique idea, and that's what they're doing, and they're running with it, and it's just nice to have that kind of twist.
I agree with Dungeons 100%. Kate as Hella is a 10.
Kate Blanchett,
dude, when she walks in, the first time she shows up, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, the smoky
Oh, I was like,
everything.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, several times.
Yeah.
Several times. And, dude, lastly, back to that first episode, fucking Howard the Duck. Seth Green doing Howard the Duck.
Getting a massive
Huge
role finally.
Yeah, he wasn't
and a
just
good
like
one
some
too.
side he was
running
awesome,
a fucking
dude.
shady casino.
Doing just getting involved in the shady thing just because he doesn't want to lose his liquor license.
Right.
Shit. I mean, it was really good, and Seth Green did a really good job with Howard the Duck. Just gave him that just absurd confidence and that just shady fucking seedy.
When
dude,
the slot hit, and he was like, at first you were
that's
like,
not supposed to hit.
yeah, he was more talking about the fact the slot actually hit. It's like, that's not supposed to happen like
That's
that.
not supposed to hit.
Yeah.
No, it was a good season, man. Like I said, I just love when they take these iconic scenes and these storylines and put a little twist on it that still makes sense. Some of them, like you mentioned, some of them not as quite as good as the others, but I just appreciate them trying different things and giving you a little different perspective on what could happen. And like it might just be a little tweak, but it really changes the character arc for a specific character every time. And you're just like, man, that's actually pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So, no, it was a strong season, and this is still one of the better shows that I like that Marvel kicks out on Disney+. It's just a really cool concept. I love that they get a lot of the actors who portray these characters back, kind of add some authenticity to it, some familiarity to these characters, because it's different when you take like somebody else and put them into this role. But when you have the original actor, they kind of just
It feels
they just know how to embody that character, and it's how they deliver their lines and whatnot. You're just like, yes, that's my Thor, So it's pretty sweet. These and Star Wars Visions are some of the best things coming. Star Wars Visions is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
That was a fucking incredible show. The Watchers, yeah, man. Jeffrey Wright is the
Wright
Watcher.
is so fucking good.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright is really good as the Watcher.
I feel like this is I feel like this is a small stepping stone to future things of him doing like this. I mean, you've got
hope.
some great narrators out there like the Morgan Freeman,
yeah.
the Attenborough, but like I think down the road, I think Jeffrey has a real potential of being like a narrator.
He's just a great actor in general too. Like the guy commands the screen, and he's just got this cool way about himself when he's on screen. So, will the Watcher replace Kang?
No, that's a no.
That's a hard no.
That's a hard no.
That's a big time no. So let us know what you guys and girls think about this season of Marvel's What If. What was your favorite episode? What episode was a little bit lacking? But mostly we want to know which episode really stood out to you, how much, just how much you enjoy this show in general, where you rank it like in the Marvel's like Disney Plus series. I think it's towards the top, man. It's a really enjoyable show, some great animation. Make sure you let us know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube.